It is Monday, Moon Day, named after and ruled esoterically by the moon, the 5th of May, Cinco de Mayo, as they say in Espanol. So, I'll get into the astrology in a second, but first I'll show you the cards I've pulled. We've got the Hierophant card, Major Arcana, Seven of Pentacles, and the wild card for the day is from the Galactic Heritage deck. The Moon Day card is always aliens, and this is Vega, freedom. So, drive-by of the astrology. Sun in 15 Taurus, 15 degrees Taurus. Moon in Leo, 25 degrees. Mercury, 21 Aries. Venus, 2 Aries. Mars, 7 Leo. Jupiter, 22 Gemini. Saturn, 28 Pisces. Uranus, 26 Taurus. Neptune, 1 Aries. So, Neptune, Saturn, and Venus are in a cluster there of conjunction-ishness. Pluto, 3 degrees retrograding now in Aquarius. So Pluto has gone retrograde. It will be in retrograde until October, I believe. North Node also up in that cluster, 26 degrees Pisces. Black Moon Lilith, 4 degrees Scorpio. Chiron, 24 Aries, which is conjunct by 3 degrees Mercury. So we're seeing with our minds for ourselves our personal wounds pretty clearly right now, and maybe making, hopefully, growth in that department. So major aspects occurring right now. Pluto's opposite Mars. The moon is squaring Uranus. Pluto's trining Uranus. Mars is squaring the sun. Jupiter's squaring Saturn and the North Node. Jupiter's sextiling the moon. Jupiter's sextiling Chiron and Mercury. Mars is trining Venus and Neptune. The moon is trining Chiron and Mercury. I don't remember if I said that. And then Uranus and as well as Pluto are sextiling Venus, Neptune, Saturn, and North Node situation. So a whole lot of action Jackson going on. The cards, which is why we're here largely. Major Arcana. This is ironically a Taurus card. It's Taurus season. Very Taurus Sun, Moon, and Leo energy here. I've written music for all the Major Arcana. I'll post that in the comments. Check them out. The song I wrote for this is called On Loan from God, which is a quote from Rush Limbaugh, but it's kind of a classic rock vibe. Organs. I did it all, so check it out. Anyway, the Hierophant, the High Priest. This is the opposite of the High Priestess, which is inner, feminine, kind of hidden spiritual truth. This is loud and proud, exoteric. Thus says the Lord, truth from a spiritual masculine place. Caretaker of spiritual knowledge, teaching others what you know, awakening to greater understanding of the world, paying attention to the details. On page 32, the Hierophant, I am the teacher of universal law. The Hierophant is the guardian and custodian of religious knowledge and spiritual beliefs, a religious figure or guru, i.e. teacher, preserving and passing knowledge on intact. The masterful conduit of spiritual energy, he is admired and acknowledged as the teacher of God's law, the keeper of spiritual wisdom passed down through millennia. He alone has access to this knowledge, and as the spiritual authority is master of ceremonies, choosing wisely who is initiated into the ways of spirit and spiritual governance. I have depicted the Hierophant as part man, part wolf. Probably the most misunderstood of all wild animals, wolves are seen merely as killing machines that hunt in packs, a scourge to be rid of, so much so that now most species are considered endangered. Wolves, in fact, are extremely gregarious. They mate for life, have strong family bonds, a clear clan structure, and deflect conflict where possible. Though their clans are highly organized, they are truly free spirits. A symbol of the night seen howling at the moon, they represent the lonely path of journeying within to learn and discover our inner power and strength. The wolf nature also expresses the idiom of biblical origin, used to describe deceptiveness of appearance, a kind of nature masking danger, i.e., the wolf in sheep's clothing. After all, religion has been a double-edged sword, a source for conflict and a resource for peace. Jupiter and Gemini, two sides to the coin. Religion has been at the heart of most violent conflicts, especially in the past 2 decades, and is worn as a badge of identity, fueling or abating conflict for political ends, right? So people ground their values, Sun and Taurus, and then express their hearts about it, loud and proud, Moon and Mars and Leo, but then they fight about all this. Like, you don't believe what I believe. I'm going to chop off your head, jihad style. Mercury, Venus, Neptune in Aries, right? They want to fight about it. The Hierophant, the channeler of male spiritual energy, can indeed bare his teeth. The flower of life, a flower-like pattern with 6-fold symmetry, like a hexagon, floats above his head. A universal sacred geometry depicting the creation of existence, containing all the essential building blocks of the universe that we call the Platonic solids. It's kind of like a little diagram of the matrix hologram we're in, as above, so below. It's found in most religions and various ancient civilizations. It can be seen in the temples of the Forbidden City of China, in ancient synagogues in Israel and the Buddhist temples of India and Japan, while the oldest known example is believed to be the ones present in the Temple of Osiris in Abydos, Egypt. Temples that have borne witness to the visceral rituals and ceremony of sacred sound and sight, Sun in Taurus, Moon in Leo. It's like how people express themselves in a grounded, ritualistic way. Scented aromas, touch, and taste have been used to reinforce the stories, doctrines, and values of religion. To serve God, one is actively encouraged to live and pray in an enclosed spiritual community, or live in a secular world while choosing to pray or meditate and meet regularly in the house of God, establishing a strong social structure and the idea of belonging and contributing to a bigger group or tribe. Pluto and Aquarius. The Hierophant card calls you to investigate the existing sets of beliefs and systems that are already in place within your environment and see if they hold anything of value for you. Pluto in Aquarius, retrograde now, trining Uranus and Taurus, right? We're going over the revolution and does it fit our values and how do we upgrade? Like Raven with electricity, and there's even like electrical tendrils here. So the Hierophant, caretaker of spiritual knowledge, teaching others what you know, awakening to a greater understanding of the world, and paying attention to the details. Jupiter and Gemini. The clarifying card is the Seven of Pentacles, rather. Seven of Pentacles. So if you're an Earth sign, this is about the material things and embodiment and physical reality on all levels. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, your jam here. On page 174, Seven of Pentacles, I am carefully bringing things to life. The patience and kindness required to grow and sustain a life of value and beauty. Very Sun in Taurus, Moon in Leo, right? We're trying to figure out what the truth is, ground it, and chop wood, carry water, tend the garden of our truth. The final card is the Wild card, and it's from the Galactic Heritage deck. 108 cards in this. So 73 is Vega, which is the star system in contact with Jodie Foster. Vega, on page 112, Freedom, Future Timeline. The ancient Vegans had many challenges in their personal development, including feelings of limitation, self-judgment, over-controlled emotions, and martyrhood, to name a few. This kept them feeling like slaves to their mental and emotional patterns for millennia, but as they awakened, they realized that those patterns were just illusions that stopped them from seeing their inner light. Once they realized this, they experienced a tremendous sense of spiritual liberation and freedom. This is the same challenge humans right now have. Can you stop validating mental and emotional patterns and simply be your light, right? Sun in Taurus, ground your truth. Hierophant card, and do the work. Be your light. Moon in Leo. This card refers to an era of Vegan history in which the Vegans had surmounted all of their spiritual challenges and become an awakened species. Pluto, retrograde, trining Uranus and Taurus. Jupiter and Gemini. All civilizations have this opportunity, but often a planetary civilization has to go through several cycles of darkness and ignorance before it can become awakened. Earth is in a time of darkness right now, but it is always darkest before dawn. Humanity has a tremendous potential to become an awakened species as well, but the process is never easy. It requires individuals and society, right? Sun in Taurus, Moon in Leo, and Pluto in Aquarius. Individuals and the collective to basically as a whole, see themselves clearly and take the steps needed to transform ignorance into enlightenment. This card refers to the immense freedom and liberation that comes from spiritual insight and no longer being a slave to emotions, painful memories of the past, or fears about the future. It refers to a state of consciousness that is rooted in the now, where all your energy that was once spent on worry, fear, judgment, and self-sabotage is reclaimed. Right? As each person takes these steps to transform his or her life, the entire planet's consciousness can evolve. Have no fear. The energy of the ancient Vegan masters is here to support you on your journey. So I think the idea here is don't hide your light under a bushel. Figure out what your personal truth is in the collective. Ground it in, right? Moon in Leo, Sun in Taurus, and shout it out. And do the work. Don't be lazy, right? The shadow of Moon in Leo and Sun in Taurus. You're here to find freedom and enlightenment and that kind of shining and knowing your own trip to the fullest so others can be authentically themselves in relation to that holographic dynamic. So if you've enjoyed this, leave a tip, holler for a reading, tag somebody who might also appreciate this. Whatever's clever, spread the good word. Astrology readings are 3 hours and for 150 USD, but you'll never need another reading again, and you'll be a little astrologer yourself. And oracle / tarot card readings are 1 hour. It's 50 USD, and yeah, you'll love the shit out of that. 5-star reviews. I should say, if you get somebody to come to me for a tarot reading, you get half off. So it'll be $25 with a referral kind of situation. Enjoy your Cinco de Mayo, your moon day, and I'll catch you on the flip side.